I will not take too much time. I will introduce the keynotes that are going to address us. We are very fortunate to have the world president of the World Association of Women Entrepreneurs. So in our midst is Miss Mary Christine Ogli. I will learn her name by the end of today in the Turkish way. So I will have her come and address us for her keynote this morning. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you. So the first goal was to have a session in this event. The second goal will be to have a lot of men into that session and to have a lot of people. As you said, we are competing with speech this morning, and of course, it should be full there, and we are still waiting some people. Nevertheless, I prepared some notes, and as you can hear, I'm not an English native person. I'm French, and as all French, it's a bit difficult to speak other language. And I wrote all my speech, so you will have to listen to what I wrote. Speaking about women in economic world and in finance world, we have to speak about what women can bring to the economy. And I can say that two lessons from 2018 IMF study on the benefits of women inclusion in the economy are sufficient in themselves to illustrate the essential contribution of women to ecosystem. Eliminating gender disparities could increase GDP by an average of 35% in countries where women are least present in the world of work. The improvement attributed to productivity is partly explained by the gradual increase in the number of women in the workforce. Women now head 1/3 of all enterprises in the formal economy worldwide. They create twice as many businesses as men worldwide, account for 51% of global wealth and control 70% of household spending. They are perceived by NGOs as primary level for development in emerging countries. In Africa, most of the new entrepreneurs are women, who in fact represent a powerful engine of growth for the continent. And yet, throughout the world, they continue to encounter more difficulties than men in engaging in entrepreneurship and carrying out their projects. The OECD has painted a vivid picture of the obstacles that stand in their way. Society as a whole still rarely supports women's entrepreneurship. Women face greater difficulties than men in obtaining finance, and I hope during those 2 days that will change. Women are less involved in entrepreneurial networks. They have to take care about, usually still today, family, children, and so on, and don't have time for networking. Family and tax policies can discourage women from participating in the labor market and from starting up entrepreneurship in the first place. A trend that can be found just about everywhere in the world. For example, in the European Union, in 7 member states, men are 1.5 times more likely than women to obtain financing to set up a business. As a result, despite some progress, the gaps in labor force participation between men and women remain considerable. To cite just one example, no advanced or middle-income country has reduced this gap to less than 7 percentage points. Such glaring disparities are no longer acceptable and are proving to be counterproductive. According to the McKinsey firm, corporate parity could indeed offer the world 12 trillion in GNP by 2025, or 1% more growth each year between now and then. India could thus expect an additional 16% of GDP, Latin America 14%, Sub-Saharan Africa 12%. Yet, 1 billion women are still unable to reach their full economic potential due to barriers such as unequal access to credit and opportunities, inadequate education and lack of training, lack of support from communities and government to enable them to integrate into the world of work and the economy. Today, 70% of women, small and medium-sized enterprises in developing countries are either excluded from the formal financial system or unable to benefit from financial services adapted to their needs. A credit gap in favor of SMEs run by women of $300 billion a year, according to the World Bank. The creation by the G20 of the WIFI Investment Fund, endowed with 1 billion euros, which is aimed at women entrepreneurs in developing countries, is encouraging in this respect. By mobilizing numerous global players, both institutional and private, it should enable them to access the credit market, while having personal support, access to a network and a potential market. This initiative is intended to be a vehicle for inclusive growth in these countries, since it is a question of changing the overall business environment in favor of SMEs owned or run by women. We can see that in the face of this observation, great challenges still await us to give full scope to women who wish to be entrepreneurs. First of all, we need to increase the rate of women working and the number of hours worked. They must invest more in sectors with higher added value, such as new technologies, science, and finance. This is the way to change mentalities and strengthen their legitimacy. It is indeed a question of changing the social attitude towards female entrepreneurship. It is clear that at this level, education plays a decisive role in influencing social attitudes towards women entrepreneurs. This includes positive messages about women and work and real equal opportunities in entrepreneurship education. At the same time, role models and ambassadors should be promoted to increase women's motivation to start and develop businesses. Women's entrepreneurship must be given greater visibility in order to counter stereotypes related to women's activities in the labor market. In Germany, Frauenunternehmen is a nationwide initiative that has led to the creation of a network of women entrepreneurs acting as role models. They visit universities, schools, and economic development events to promote women's entrepreneurship and provide opportunities for women to build their own network of entrepreneurs, share experiences, receive mentoring, promote their businesses, and participate in conferences and workshops. This female mutual assistance, like the male professional networks that we have been defending for decades within the organization I share, is indeed a key factor in strengthening women's influence in the ecosystem and reaffirming their commitment. Recently, and in collaboration with 6 United Nations agencies, Mary Kay Ash, one of the leading figures in women's entrepreneurship in the United States, announced the launch of a Women's Entrepreneurial Accelerator, a multi-year partnership initiative designed to inspire, educate, and empower women entrepreneurs worldwide. The accelerator will offer a digitally guided curriculum complemented by on-the job training and mentoring. It will support global efforts to encourage businesses to develop and expand their relationships with women-owned enterprises, including through corporate procurement. Both institutional and private initiatives that are likely to move the lines and enable women to express their full potential. In a world in search of new economic and social models of development to meet environmental challenges, the commitment of women can promote the emergence of alternative and innovative solutions for a more harmonious development. In this sense, women's entrepreneurship is not only a tool for women's empowerment, but also a powerful vector for sustainable growth and more inclusive entrepreneurship. One of the most emblematic continents on this new situation is unquestionably Africa, where the female entrepreneurial fabric is the most important in the world. 27% of women there have started a business, and their companies outperform those run by men. Indeed, the study New Deal, New Game for Women in Africa tells us that rates of return are 34% higher in companies with women in management positions. A new generation of women entrepreneurs is blossoming and is creatively and nimbly accompanying the societal, economic, and environmental changes taking place in the various countries of the continent. They combine economic objectives with ecological and social requirements, while at the same time using the recycling of resources to imagine the world of tomorrow. Like Mariama Mamane, creator of JC Green, which transforms a local weed into natural fertilizer and electricity, one of the 20 most promising projects in Africa, according to the UN. Or of Brenda Katvesigi, who offers school children with Wazi Vision, optical care, and affordable pairs of glasses made from recycled plastics. Projects that promote the emergence of concrete solutions adapted to the needs of local populations, that facilitate their daily lives thanks to an improvement in the service offered and contribute to the development of territories. It is to this new entrepreneurial spirit, which is more than ever alive among women, that politicians, institutions, and economic players, starting with investors, must respond in an appropriate manner by offering support likely to create the regulatory, ideological, social, and financial conditions conducive to its development. More than $1 billion are spent each year worldwide on research and development. A staggering figure that testifies to the major roles that science and innovation play in the development of sustainable solutions that will enable us to meet the challenges of our society. New responses to new and constantly evolving needs, which must be both a source of progress and well-being, but also make it possible to support growth that is better shared. They are essential conditions for the balance and stability of our societies, as well as for the enthusiasm of new generation in search of meaning and commitment. Trusting in women entrepreneurship is a demonstration of faith in the future to meet the global challenges related to the fight against poverty, the advancement of social justice and environmental sustainability, which constitute the great moral and political imperative of our time. Encouraging innovation in more diverse forms and direction, more equitably distributed, with greater respect for cultural variety, regional diversity, and democratic accountability is at the heart of this shift in global innovation. The time has come for women to make their voices better heard, to become more involved in governing bodies, to exert economic and political influence on the decisions that concern them, and to dare to assert their entrepreneurial spirit in all fields of activity without restriction, for a plethora of initiatives that create wealth, jobs, and hope for the new generation. Thus, the fairer and more harmonious world that our fellow citizens want not presuppose that men and women work together in a complementary way, but on an equal footing. Thank you.